also our international guest to Kontiolahti to win the Wonderland in Northern Korea for IBU World Cup in Biathlon presented by BMW. It's a 3-day winning 7.5 competition with and total we have 85 competitors in today's competition. Ja kyllä huomaatte, siellä on hyvä yleisö siellä pääkatsomussa ja siellä tänään on myöskin tuo Big-katsoma, niin tuolla ammuntapaikan päällä näette 94 uutta screeniä. Siellä on
kävi ostaa noita.
Sä oot sponsori.
Joo, mä sponsoroin nää.
Se on hieno. Kyllähän.
Joo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ten. Thank you.
Ja fan, sorry. 19.
Okay, thank you.
Ollaan moni odotaan.
Ja 642.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Det är jävla bra.
Ja, det är väldigt massa hus och färger.
This is very good.
Ja sitten mennäänkin tuonne aina numeroon 81, Erika Jänkä, 14.25.30. Eli tässä on näitä meidän olympiaedustajiakin. Hyvä edustajamme mukana ja skrillään näkyy myöskin tuota pääkatsomaa. Mukavaa sitten on siellä saattaa paikalle katsomaan ja kannattamaan tätä meidän hienoa Antavan maailmankautta perhettä. Kyllä, ja siellä saa tanssia musiikin tahti ja pistää kättä yhteen. Ei tarvitse palella. Hieman viileämpi päivä tänä päivänä kuin tuo aiemmin tällä viikolla. Toki tuo aurinko näin maaliskuuta hieman lämmittää ja kasvaa niin, että se miinus 4-3 astetta suurin piirtein kuin ilman lämpötila tällä hetkellä. Kyllä, taas nämä, mutta mihin päästä tuossa perässä. Kyllä aamulla kun heräsin, niin katsoo lämpömittaria ja nyt 18 näitä tulee Joensuun keskustassa, niin aika vilakat kelit vielä maaliskuussa. Mä en pitää ollakin toisessa talviurheilun kelissä päästään tätä Atlantin-juhlaa valtaista viettää. Ja täällähän on ihan mielettömät nämä latureikat sekä Kontiolahdella että Joensuussa. Tästä pääsee tuosta kisan tätä Sakkorikin vieressä käytännössä, niin eikö tuota pääse liittää Joensuun kanssa sitten kisan jälkeen. Kyllä, ja samaan aikaan verraten sitten tuo kisalapuus on myöskin Greenerin kanssa. Kiitos Poskinen painaa sieltä musaa. Taustalle tämän päivän tervetuloa Serve, tervetuloa tänne Pömpeliin. Serve tuli aamulla tuolta Kuopion suunnalta ja tänään mennään käydä kodissa. Siellä Kärki numero 2, sellainen olympiavoittaja. Löytyy ja viimeinen olympiapuolella numero 4. Melkoisia tekijöitä tuolla alkuun. Biathlon löytyy suoriutuja ja maailmankapista ylityylin talvekolmilla ikäryhmällä 5. Eli kyllä aikamoiset välineet saadaan. Kyllä, kun tapaa Biathlon sekä on valittu ensimmäisen arvopäivän lähtöpaikkoja, joten niin sanottu kova päädellään näitä riittää. Ja se on 3,5 minuuttia lähteen aikaa ensimmäiseen itse asiassa 3 minuuttia enää. We have a bit more than 2 minutes to the start of the first biathlon for the IDU World Biathlon here in Kontiolahti. Women's 7.5 kilometers, which is covered by BMW. Then we have to use the first as usual, we have the ultimate top athletes also in this first starting with the yellow bib and the red bib carrier, Marcel Ferreira, starting today with the big number 24. Pekinissä Parskioita taisi olla 16 henkilökohtaisessa kilpailussa. Oliko näin? Kyllä näin on, ja nimenomaan tuossa yhteisessä kilpailussa tuo 16 sijaa. Tässä kuka matkalla henkilöitä 23. Kun matkalla sitten näissä karkeissa. Häneltä löytyy 2 maailmancupin top 3 sijoitusta. 201 startti. Ja sieltä sitten lähtee. Meillä on vielä minuutti tasan aikaa ensimmäisen lähtöön.
So just a few minutes to go before the start. What is it? 3 minutes by my clock, which is seldom right, but it'll be something like that. It just doesn't seem to work with Greenwich Mean Time. Now, which of the Urbergs is going to win?
Yes, well, Elvira, she looked good. She looked sharp on the rifle. I'd like Hannah Urberg to come back to her best on the rifle, and then if she does have a chance. For me, I've got a very good feeling about Lisa Vitozzi today. I know we've talked so much about her prone shooting, but I think she'll do well today.
Lena Heike comes from Engelberg, just below Mount Titlis. Not a huge mountain. What is it, just a bit higher than Ben Nevis, to be honest, but famous for the fact that it had the first ever rotating cable car. I think that means that you stand in it and the thing just goes round. You get to see a 360-degree view of the mountain. It is a stunning area at Engelberg. Very, very jealous. Anaïs Chevalier-Boucher, 29 now, from Villard de Lat. 2 penalties in the relay, Mike. Needs to sharpen up.
She does, and her Olympic journey was great. Silver medal in the mixed relay, day 1. Second in the individual by a huge surprise, but then the next race she was 68th in the sprint, missing 1 and then 3. So she's very much an up and down on a daily basis athlete. Today could be her winning way again.
Yeah, often the case. When you don't ski fast enough to ski yourself out of trouble, you are totally reliant on the shooting. Fialkova for Slovakia, not a bad Olympic sprint, just missed 1 in the stand, which put her out of the top 10, but 14th place, very impressive. 29 now. Hopefully she's not one of those retiring. There are quite a few on the retirement list, and 1 or 2 who have yet to confirm. I think if you're going to retire, learn from Therese Johaug. Announce it the day before a home race.
Oh, definitely, and that was an incredible farewell for Johaug and, well, Oslo. I'm not sure any of the Norwegian women are retiring. The success goes from season to season, doesn't it? And they're all enjoying their biathlon. Royceland, you would expect to end on a high, but I think we'll see her for the next 4 years.
So 7.5 kilometres, the distance, the same as the men's relay yesterday. And the Heikki, the first to reach Killer Hill, not her favourite part of the course. As we see Tandrevold setting off now. You may have a good feeling for Vitozzi. I've got a good feeling for Tandrevold.
She looks good, doesn't she? And what a strange journey she had at the Olympics. Very, very good shooting, 8th and then 5th. And then she was about to cross the line in 200 metres time in 3rd place. She was clear in 3rd, but dropped back all the way to 14th. She just had a physical collapse.
Yeah.
Track side while she glided back down into the stadium.
Yeah, you mentioned her shooting. 58 of the last 60 targets have gone down. That's quite an impressive record. When you take into the fact that the majority of those were in the Olympics, under pressure, in windy conditions, in cold conditions. So she is the hot shot of the tour at the moment. Stujic, Ushkina starting already. Elvira Erberg's the next big name to get underway, starting 8, just ahead of Takizaki of Japan.
Well, we saw Stuart, you mentioned her there. She was 85th at the Olympics, but for me, she looked great 2 days ago, taking the first leg for Austria in the relay.
Shkina, 25, shot clear in Ruhpolding and managed to get some World Cup points. I think that's what it's going to take again, the perfect shooting. Dorothea Vera, assuming, couldn't see the number, but just from the hairstyle, Elvira Erberg. Now, I don't think I've seen her this fired up for a race, and some of it is to do with the fact that she knows she is not out of touch. If she wins today and she can pull some 20 points, possibly, back off Royceland, she's back in the running for the overall.
Well, that's an aggressive start, and the first 2 minutes, which is just under 2 minutes to this point, it's actually a very easy part of the track, very flat out of the stadium. Fast descent down to the far distance there. So really, your race starts here, yeah, in terms of hard climbing.
Tandrevold looking good. I'm not quite sure what the sticking out tongue is about. I used to have a dog. Dogs do it all the time, but Tandrevold tends to do it when she comes into the range as well.
It's so interesting. So does Carlson on the women's cross-country sides. From when she was a young athlete in running and skiing, she always had the tongue out to cool down. She didn't do it in Beijing, though. It would have frozen off.
Now, Chevalier Boucher looks as though she's going to set the fastest time, up to 1.8, but the next 5 metres are not quick because of the severity of this climb. What's the percentage here, Mike? Is it about 15%?
Oh, more. It's 18 to 20 at its steepest. It's an absolute brutal climb.
Yeah, well, I try to put my treadmill up to that. Mine, the hotel treadmill, it wouldn't go as steep as that, just to get some sense of what they're climbing. It is very, very steep indeed. Kosygina for Lithuania, starting ahead of Markita Davidova of the Czech Republic. Davidova, of course, the individual world champion from Pokljuka last year, and a potential winner here. Now, let's see what Erberg, 5.9 inside at the first kilometre. That's a pretty sharp start.
And we saw that aggressive, dynamic attack from the start line, so she carried a lot of pace down the fast descent, and now she's back up and running.
Here we go, best of the Czechs on the scene. Sukalova really did retire too early for the Czechs, didn't she?
I think so. She's now a mother, enjoying that phase of her life. But yes, I thought she did. And then to come out with a book, sadly criticising a number of people, maybe not the wisest thing to do. But she certainly had a colourful career.
So the flags are a little more lively than yesterday. Blowing left to right. Heikki having a very good long look down. And I didn't see her zero, but I think it's a little stronger than when the majority were zeroing before the race.
I think it has. It's picked up, and Switzerland zeroing on lane 9. Very sensible to take the same lane in which you zeroed upon. think the wind has picked up, and as long as it is steady from the left, it's okay to handle, but variable is always the problem.
Not the best of starts. 2 penalty loops incurred, 150 metres each, and the race is only 7,500, so it's a high penalty.
Chevalier-Boucher, I think that's sensible, missing the first, and then she really had to pace it down, slow it down to make sure the next 4 targets were hit.
Paulina Fialkova on her way in, cleared the prone in the Olympics, but only a 78% hit rate as we go back to the start. And Dorothea Viera for Italy. Things have been going pretty well of late. Bronze in the Olympics in the sprint event. She shot 0-0 on that occasion and finished 37 seconds down off Roysland. Only 7 seconds behind Elvira Öberg, Mike, who shot the same score. So that's an indication that Vera's skiing over the last 4 weeks has improved massively from the start of the season.
It seems to have, and on social media, a lot of photos of her at our time at home in Antholz, just sunning and a little glass of, well, let's call it water in her hand, and just taking it easy before the final 3 World Cups.
So Fialkova leading with a 6.55. Now that's a little awkward, isn't it, when you shoot left-handed? The changing of the
absolutely.
horizontal.
And you would think, I've often thought, why haven't they designed the sights for lefties? Much easier to reach up with your left hand if it's on the left side.
Well, there's my top tip out of the race, with the first 2 shots going wide. 3 and 4 absolutely smack in the middle. Now, has she made some adjustment to the aim, or were those first 2 shots just poor?
Quite interesting. Well, she had to break her complete position, and I think she went back down. Her left elbow wasn't quite where it was when she went down into position, but she had to lift up and over to adjust the sights.
Tyrrell Eckhoff underway. Gets a decent amount of applause. Traditionally quite a quiet crowd here, but Eckhoff has been around for so long and raced here so many times that they probably feel she's part of the family as Elvira Öberg enters. These are critical races for Öberg. 20 seconds quicker than anyone else into the range. Now, can she cope with skiing at that pace? She looks to be well under control.
She certainly does, and she was under a lot of pressure in the relay to take Sweden further up. Missing the first shot is a big negative.
Ooh, that was low left as well, just clipping the edge.
Yeah, she needs to lift up 3 clicks, right 2 clicks. She's maybe aiming slightly over to the right.
Yeah, no more prone shoots in the sprint, so not a lot they can do, but the message is out there, and probably everyone else will be adjusting to that. With the wind picking up from the left, slightly surprised to see it going low left.
Well then, but these first 8-9 lanes, it spins round because of the opening at the end of the range. The wind turns around there, so you have to be, it's from the left for the first, from lanes 30 to 15, but it was switching back round to the right, lanes 1 to 9. That almost caught out Elvira Öberg.
Well, it did effectively by making her miss the first one, as we see Justine Brézard-Boucher. No spare rounds, so she hasn't got that nightmare to worry about now.
That's hard to believe, that she placed a new magazine, a fresh magazine, into the housing instead of hand feeding a spare round in the relay, and it cost them dearly, a disqualification.
Well, we're on the wrong target. But 3 down so far.
She'll probably go and win today to put it to rights the mistake she made for the team.
Yeah, and add that to the gold medal she won in the mass start in Beijing. So the perfect start for Brézard-Boucher. 6.55 is going to be well bettered. She is going to the top of the leaderboard as she exits the range for the first time. An 11.5 second advantage. Nice cornering. That gains her another half second or so. And she seems to be on a mission. But here is the star of the show, Roysland, wearing red and yellow today. Can she notch up yet another victory? She's only had 2 sprint victories so far this year. She won Annecy. She certainly won in Oberhof. I think she won in Annecy as well, which was just before the Christmas break.
Davidova, she's just got that lovely natural ease through the rifle. You can see there on lane 7, it really is from the right, the flag at 5 meters from the firing point. That has the most impact on the bullet as it travels at 350 mile an hour down the range.
Which makes it a little awkward, Mike, if you have to zero your weapon on lane 20 and you end up taking your prone shots on lane 3 or 4.
It really makes it difficult, and you have to be aware in training the days before to make sure you get some shooting further down with your coach scoping on paper the fall of your shots.
Except 2 days ago, the wind wasn't the same as today.
You learn it. So
the light, nothing was the same.
You do feel it over the 4 days, 5 days you're here.
Öberg has gone through, despite the miss, back into the lead, 9.08.
Certainly looks strong, doesn't she?
Yeah, she's reminds me in a way of Forsberg, the way that a lot of the power comes out of the glutes and slightly less out of the quads.
Yes, Forsberg, she was quite unusual. She was very strong, very stable through the legs.
Straight-legged, yeah, driving from the hip, let's say, rather than the butt. But you know what I mean.
I do indeed, I do. You can see that. Voigt, again, didn't have a great relay, but she bounces back so strong in the next race. Ski speed a little off from her great performances at the Olympics. There's the sights getting ripped back across to the right, so obviously we're in lanes 1 to 5 and the wind is from the right. Very clever. Too clever, she's pulled them across too much.
Oof.
Too many clicks, too many clicks. She took it about 8 clicks to the right. That's a shame.
Well, a clear shoot. Looks as though it's going to produce a very good result today with so many of the big names missing early on.
Ideal there, getting that left elbow into, well, effectively on top of the hip bone, but there's good purchase there on the ski suit as well.
Fialkova with the quickest time at 4.3 at the moment.
That was okay. She's lost a lot of time the last couple of years in terms of studying, and it's good to see her form really coming back, Paulina Fialkova.
Tyrell Eckhoff just about to take her first shoot. This is key.
9 seconds slower, nearly 10 seconds slower into the range compared to Elvira Öberg.
26 wins in her career. Eckhoff without an individual win so far this season. Just.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, she might even have picked up the difference in sound there, Mike. That split round, definitely a different resonation from when she hit the previous shot right in the middle, but she gets away with it. Luck is on her side. Brézard-Boucher out in 6:43. Eckhoff just 1.2 behind. Coming on the previous lap, Eckhoff and Brézard-Boucher skiing at pretty much the same speed, so the French athlete getting an advantage with shooting speed.
Agnès Béchon, she took 1 click, which accounts for about 3 millimeters movement of the fall of the shot, but it seems to be okay.
Well, that will do for Bescon. 4 out of 5. Still, you know, podium's not out of the question at this stage, but I think she's going to have to hit 5 in the stands. Deutsch for Austria. 20 seconds slower than Elvira Erberg on that first lap. But then again, so are most.
Exactly. This is comfortable, it's easy, she's very strong and strong mindset.
Yeah, nice. Really nice performance. 10 out of 10. Our first clear shoot. And 14-16. She's still not going to match Chevalier Boucher.
Look at Elvira Erberg in the background, lane 30, the perfect or the best lane to shoot on in terms of wind covering.
Elvira Erberg. There's another miss. Oh, she's leaving the door wide open for Royschland at the moment. Gets 4 out of 5. So with her ski speed, 20 seconds or so off most on the lap. And she leaves just as her main rival in the overall World Cup battle comes in to shoot for the first time. 5 out of 5 for Royschland. And she's a significant step closer to winning the Crystal Globe for the first time. I think probably the most deserving with the consistency she's shown this year.
She has just been so much in control of every race, and then she misses the first one here.
Brézard-Boucher with her first mistake. Royschland with her first mistake. 2 now for Brézard-Boucher. Shot herself out of the race, and Royschland has some skiing to do. Still has 11 seconds in hand, and looking at 1.8. Royschland 8.1 slower than Elvira Erberg. Tyrrell Eckhoff a couple of seconds quicker than Royschland.
Just Royschland, her proneness normally, you can almost say safely that she'll get all 5, and I thought she would today. In fact, what's her stats? She's normally about 92% hit rate in prone shooting, slightly lower stand shooting.
Well, we've only got 10 out of 23 that have gone clear on the first shoot so far. Only one athlete, Zdujic of Austria, has cleared 10 out of 10, but only 5, what have we got? 6 athletes through the second shoot, as Hannah Erberg comes in for her first shoot. Her sister lying in 6th place at the moment after the first shoot. Elvira then missing one on the second shoot, but lying in 2nd after the second shoot. Here we go. She looks to the left and she looks to the right.
And now she has no further chance. What you do, you see through the millimeter peep sights at the back if the flags are in the way. If you see them, she's missed the 4th.
Well, that was a quick, she didn't waste any time once she got the first round going. 26.8, a rapid shoot from Hannah Erberg as David Dover can't improve on the first shoot. Just looks a little bit of tension in the position. She looks so calm, as you mentioned, Mike, in the prone position.
Yeah, such a real natural. I think the steep climb, that brutal hill, which is minute 5 from bottom to top in terms of ski time, it really unsettles the pulse all the way into the range, and I think she was a little over her comfort zone there.
Denise Herman in for shoot number 1, 3.3 inside the current leader after the first shoot, which is Justine Brézard-Boucher, but still a couple of seconds down on Elvira Erberg, who missed one on the first prone. Herman, who started the season well in Östersund, and looks as though she could be wrapping up the season well with 5 out of 5 now. Is she going to match the 6:43? She won't be far outside. It could be the green light for Germany's #1 biathlete at the moment. It is 1.3 the margin, nothing in it, but she'll certainly be encouraged by the splits she gets, if, of course, she chooses to get splits.
She will. Just looking back, I was expecting something great from Vitozzi today. She hasn't even started, sadly unwell, so unfortunate for her.
Hauser looked a little bit nervous to me, then goes for a minor adjustment on the horizontal sight, increases that, does the vertical as well. If this one misses, you could see panic mode. Is she on the wrong target? No.
Very strange. I didn't quite see. Well, did she shoot in the wrong target?
Not quite sure.
Don't think she did. It's just the camera was on the wrong target.
We will confirm Hauser's position when she comes out. Stuic, the leading Austrian at the moment. Till Eckhoff, a real opportunity for her now. She got a gold, a silver, a bronze from Beijing and a 4th place just to keep the sequence going. Well, 4 out of 5, Mike. That is pretty handy when you've got a 23-second lead coming in. Chevalier Boucher is out, having shot 9 out of 10. I would favour Eckhoff to be able to chase that down. We will see over the next few minutes, but it's Denise Herrmann who leads after the first shoot. Excellent clear shoot from her, 6:42 the time, only 2.5 seconds separating the top 3 positions. Lots of big names throwing shots wide. Tandrevold didn't start well. Vitozzi didn't even start. Hauser has gone into 24th position, missing 2 on the prone. Vera has missed 2 on the prone as well. Davidova missed 1. Chevalier Boucher missed 1. Roijland missed 1. So there's an opportunity for someone who just accepts that an extra 5 seconds of preparation might be the key to success here.
Well, Agnès Bescon, she needs all 5. She did miss 1 in her prone shooting.
Lynn Persson, 22, just very, very conservative approach, but that is because she wants lane 30, so slowing down considerably earlier than those who are going all the way up for the prone targets, which are 1 through to 15. She's looking for the protection from the sidewall. Nice touch on the blinder.
It is the love heart. She's often so strong, composed and relaxed. She needed to be for the last shot, but she must have thought about it.
So Elvira Erberg is across the line, and she was fighting from the very outset today.
She's just missed that lead time, missing 2 targets. She's only 3 seconds behind Chevalier Boucher.
Well, this is the performance that Elvira Erberg needs to keep an eye on. She needs to start clawing back points in the World Cup standings. 88 points the difference between Roijland and Elvira Erberg. That could be going up to 100 if this is a clean shoot, but it's not. There's another mistake. Well, again, we've got problems with the caption. Has she missed 2 or has she missed 3? Looked like 2 to me, and the end of season nerves are already starting to take hold. And we've got Otterpa to come, and we've got Oslo still to come.
It's a big deal. This is great from Voigt. She's just pushing for first place, 1.2 seconds behind. Roijland, when it's gone so well all season, and now she's beginning to lose the feel through her rifle, that will destabilize her for tomorrow's race.
So there are the standings after the second shoot, and Eckhoff, despite that miss, still has a 4-second advantage over Chevalier. Very quick round the penalty loop. Voigt, Erberg 3 and 4, Fialkova 5. Justine Brézard-Boucher in 6th position at the moment. She's finished actually lying in 4th, but with 2 misses, surely she's going to be pushed down to close to missing out on a top 10. Takizaki, good start from her, but then faded with 4 misses in total.
Reuschland, just confirmation, she'd only missed 1 in her stand, so she's missed 2 in total. She's 23.9 behind with 2.5 kilometers to go.
Yeah, not sure what was happening with the captions there. Reuschland with a miss on the prone, miss on the stand as well. 23.9, as Mike says, the difference. Compared to Elvira Erberg, a 7-second difference between the two of them. Hannah Erberg now for her standing shoot, and again the captions are not giving us the information we need. I'll try and update you just as soon as we get a readout for Hannah Erberg.
Well, Vanessa Voigt, look at that, perfect 10 out of 10. She couldn't find the 1.2 seconds from the top of the hill into the finish area.
Well, maybe the captions weren't wrong, Mike. Hannah Erberg, 5 misses, don't believe it. Cross shooting.
My. That's almost unbelievable.
Well, she's going to be on the penalty loop for the next 6 minutes, unless of course she was cross shooting and hit 5 and feels she got all the targets down. So we could see a cancellation for the disqualification for the second women's race in a row. This is Tyrrell Eckhoff. Critical split time here, coming up towards the 6.8-kilometre stage, and still at 4.9. When she left the range, she was 4.6 ahead of Chevalier Boucher. So Tyrrell Eckhoff is starting to run out of gas, and an opportunity. Well, Hannah Erberg, Mike, has gone into 3rd position despite the 6 penalties. I suspect she hit all 5, but she must have been shooting on the wrong target.
Very, very strange. That's on 750 meters extra skiing. That is a pain.
Yeah, and Denise Herman's just taken the lead after the second shoot, and the margin only 1.3. But Herman looks to be skiing a little bit stronger than we saw from Tyrrell Eckhoff. Ida Lien, 5 out of 5. Well done. Not many have managed that so far today. And in the finish, we still only have 2 athletes clear. And in fact, with 18 through the second shoot, there are still only 2 clear.
I didn't see, as Ida Lien goes out, I didn't see what happened with Erberg. Did she go into the penalty loop? It has her in 3rd place here.
No, she didn't.
So, yeah. So the caption must be wrong.
Well, the caption's wrong, or she was shooting on the wrong target. One or the other. And for some reason, the information is pretty slow to filter out of the control centre here. We were kept in the dark in the relay. Tyrrell Eckhoff, 10.5 inside. Good finish once she reached the top of the hill. That burst of speed from Tyrrell Eckhoff could be absolutely key. Hannah Erberg is on the charge, but still we have 5 penalties. I think it's a cross shoot, isn't it? Or are you going for graphics?
I'm going for graphics. I'm going for the perfect shoot. I think we would have had some information to this point.
Well,
the graphics have been a little bit off today, haven't they? So yeah. That is the issue.
Well, that's certainly the case. But we'll have to wait and see, and apologies for not being able to give you the exact information. We're hoping to get a sheet of paper or a word through the headphones to tell us exactly what the score is. Eckhoff, 5 seconds gained in the last 500 meters, Mike. That could be key, because she was only 4.8 clear of Denise Herman, who's coming up towards the 6.0 stage. And Herman has lost a little bit of time, but she still has that green light. What she got now, Herman's tall, strong. She must be 7-8 kilos heavier than Tyrrell Eckhoff, Mike, at least. That does not bode well for the big climb.
And tempo-wise as well, Tyrrell Eckhoff has that fabulous movement left to right, transferring the weight across. Really does assist her up the steep climb, and the steep climb after this one is still to come.
Well, a good race. The home fans don't have a massive amount to cheer about at the moment. Minkkinen is down in 17th place. Marieda must be one of those considering retirement.
Look at her time. It's very, very good.
Went clear on the first shoot. And Ada in 6th position. after shoot number 1. 5 out of 5. She could be going into the top 3.
It's 2 years since we've heard this audience excitement. Is it going to put her off?
Oh, what a shame. 2 wins in her career, but you have to go all the way back to 2017. 9 out of 10, 15 seconds in hand. It's not going to be a win, but it could still be a top 5 finish, which would be excellent for Ada. Best we'd seen this season. Roysland into the finish now. Is she going to get ahead of Elvira Erberg? 23.1 outside into 5th position. She is 1 place down on her main rival in the overall World Cup standing. So at the most, she's going to lose 3 points at the least. And I think it's more likely that she'll end up losing just 1. Herman now, Mike. Green light last time, 1.5 seconds to play with over Eckhoff, but she's still got some way to go. Another 10 meters, 8 seconds in hand. Progress is slow. Well, she's built it.
Wow.
She's built it to 6.1. Good climb. But this is where Eckhoff really started to push the button.
It's strange. Well, Eckhoff only missing one round, so 1 penalty loop. Herman 2, so certainly the ski speed has been better in the race with for Herman, so I think she still has a good chance.
Hannah Erberg into the finish. The caption has been corrected. Again, Mike, you were right. It was a mistake from the caption, not a mistake from Hannah Erberg. And Hannah Erberg, of course, the Olympic champion from way back in 2018 in the individual. Is she going to get the green light here? It's so close, just outside. Eckhoff survives that challenge, and Sweden into 2nd place. So it's Hannah Erberg, the older of the 2 sisters, who gets the best result today. 2nd, I think she's almost certainly going to be pushed down by Germany's Denise Herman. Now, Herman at the last split with an advantage of 6.1 seconds.
Oh, I think she's still up, and the way that Hannah Erberg took 7 seconds out of Eckhoff effectively. Oh no, only 2 seconds out of Eckhoff over the last stretch. Very interesting.
Yeah, good strong skiing, and congratulations to the German team, because at every opportunity they've been given Herman information on this last loop. That's what she needs. 13 seconds. She's got about 100 meters to go, less than that now, and she is going into top spot. She's maintained the advantage she had at the top of the big climb. 5 seconds. Denise Herman, who is looking for win number 9 on the biathlon tour, having switched from, of course, the cross-country tour. She's the individual Olympic champion. Is she going to be the sprint champion here in Kontiolahti? I don't think I can see anyone who can match her time.
Well, that was a good push. The graphics are all over the place. Herman only missed 1. I said 2. That's what my graphics were saying. But a wonderful performance.
20.08, the leading time. Last time we had a sprint here, Hannah Erberg won it, 21.11. So it's something about this course that suits Hannah Erberg. Denise Herman on the range. Missed 1 in the stand, was clear in the prone. Yeah, it's a strong-looking position, isn't it, Mike?
Oh, very good. And the fact that she's, well, was a cross-country skier, she really has mastered biathlon now.
Ida Lien with 46 seconds in hand. 5 out of 5. She might challenge.
See the lower part of her stomach. 1, 2, it was 5 breaths first times, down to 2 each time between each shot.
First yellow flash. And the second. Not a third, surely. No, the final target goes down, but an extra 300 meters to ski. So what could have been an excellent result is going to be another average one for Ida Lien, but had a good week. She did really well in the relay. The Norwegians winning the relay. Lien in Tandevold racing well in that.
No, I thought Chloe Chevalier back in the World Cup racing. Maybe one of those come in from IBU Cup racing. Maybe she can challenge.
2 on the top, 3 on the horizontal. Way left with the first, low left with the second.
So she's brought the sights over by 6 mils.
Still not
Hasn't
quite
helped.
enough.
Oh, come on. She's thinking it's the wrong way. A couple more clicks. I think the wind's dropped down this time.
Oh,
no.
To be honest, Mike, it's not a bad group. It's
It's
not
an
a bad group.
Excellent group, just the sight's not correct.
Yeah, frustrating. How frustrating is that? Marieda. Now she's got the support of the fans here in Kontiolahti, and only 26 seconds outside. When she came out of the range, she was at 26.2. So actually, she's held her own so far on this lap. Stina Nielsen at 4.9. Oh my goodness, she is looking laboured at the moment. Yeah, this is not the Stina Nielsen that we saw when she first joined the biathlon tour.
Well, it's not bad time though. This is her coming in for her first shoot, so early in the race, she'll take longer than most when it comes to shooting, but that's not too bad. She generally starts quite within herself.
Deidre Irwin for USA. As I mentioned, Susan Dunkley getting towards the end of her career. She'll be retiring at the end of this season. Irwin, PB of 7th. That came in the individual in the Olympic Games. Got her timing absolutely right.
It was great to see her best ever result. Bring it out at the Olympic Games, why not?
Oh, what a shame. 9 out of 10 would have been good, but the majority today hitting 8 out of 10, so she's in the pack. Marieda reaches a wall of sound as she turns right into the stadium and the home straight. 23.4 outside, Roysland on 28. She might just get in front of the World Cup leader. No, not quite. Not quite, but she does better the time from Lynn Persson of Sweden. That was a good run by Ada. She is spent. She's given it everything, but she knows this course better than most. Now, big moment for Stina Nielsen. She will have been disappointed not to race in Beijing.
Extra weight added on to the end of her rifle just to stabilize it a little more in the wind. That helps maybe more in the stand than it does in the prone shooting. Third fastest into the range, 6 seconds behind.
With all the misses, the target not quite as clear in the sights as it would normally be, but 5 out of 5. How about that? That is good. 10 seconds to play with. Denise Herman, who will have been thinking, I've got this one in the bag, will have to think again, because although the light's going to go red, not green, Stina Nielsen is not far outside. And of course, they both come from the same background. It would be extraordinary, Mike, if they got first and second today.
Wouldn't it just? Herman will be getting nervous. She would have thought, as you said, that there aren't many names out there that could challenge her, but Stina Nielsen, that's a great start. And it was a faster time in the range than we've seen earlier in the season. She's beginning to learn how to shoot fast.
Late start for Franziska Hildebrand, 34 now. Didn't race in Beijing.
That's a good time into the range, isn't it? She's normally and historically she's been quite a safe biathlete when it comes to the range, getting a lot of her targets or more of the targets down than many.
Yeah, in and out of the team this year. Adorned her rifle with the yellow and blue of Ukraine, and you know, there's not much individuals can do, but collectively the message is loud and clear, and everyone feeling they want to do something, and everyone feeling a little bit awkward about just continuing their racing careers with all the troubles going on at the moment. Now Kunanen for Finland, 1 miss on the prone, 3 on the stand. I'm afraid the crowd are used to that sort of performance here.
Well, that's a pity from Kunanen. formerly Belarus biathlete for many years, married a Finn. She's her little child, Sofia. And she lives in Joensuu, so this is her training range. Missing 3, local pressure.
What's Mäkäräinen up to nowadays?
Well, she was working for the Olympics on her TV channel, and then podcasts in the evenings. I'm not sure where the career is going. I'll find out next week. But yeah, to see her in the organising committee and playing a huge part, and she is coaching the juniors in the club, so maybe that is the main calling.
Yeah, Mäkäräinen, who had one season where she couldn't lose a race here, and then when it came to the World Championships, she couldn't hit a target. Things went sadly wrong for her, but what a career she had. And of course, Mäkäräinen from Joensuu, and you're obviously got your bags packed ready for the Masters, Mike.
I'm selecting skis as we speak. Yes, the Masters starting a week Tuesday. At least the tracks are perfect. The snow conditions are great. We know the temperatures will remain around these temperatures. -6 snow, -2 air conditions.
Does no one else want to host the Masters?
Well, they've just had such a good tradition of running it here, and big fields, over 220 athletes most years. So it's big. It's a big deal to organise it. Ida Lien there in the end, 51 behind.
Just going through 64. That's Caroline Hofstad Knotten, and this is Stina Nielsen, who for me is the only athlete now who can challenge. Hildebrand's been through starting 69, but she's some 20 seconds off the lead after her first shoot, so I guess it's possible if she's very quick and hits 5 on that last shoot. But I think Nielsen really the only one that could challenge Denise Herman, who leads the way at the moment.
Have a look at this hill. So she took a little glance up the hill as she came into the base, and with the rifle on her back, she's still not fully accustomed to skiing with the rifle. She says it's quite a different feel and quite a different movement, but that's a fantastic time. Yeah,
Nielsen 2.2 behind out of the range. She's now 2 seconds behind, so she's matching Denise Herman stride for stride. It's going to come down to the standing shoot, and Denise Herman, Mike, of course, missing 1 in the stand. So if Stina Nielsen can hit 5, hasn't happened very often this year. She's got a 70% hit rate, so it is doable.
It is. Anna Jupp, and in fact all of the Austrian team skiing much faster after the Olympics, and they have been shooting well today.
I think she heard you.
She did. This is going to be 15, 17 seconds in between the 2 shots and more. Well, nearly 17. It just doesn't feel comfortable, does it? Just that left elbow's not getting much bite of her hip or support there, and she's kind of muscling the rifle.
Yeah, 2 out of the 5, and potential great result has gone. Knotten, on the other hand, produces a rare clear shoot. 5 was my last count, so I think she takes it up to 6 of the athletes out of a field of over 80. So we're well under the 10% mark at the moment, which is below standard. Normally around 15% go clear. 10.3 seconds outside. Knotten, starting number 64 in terms of PBs. Well, she's had 1 podium finish, I think, which was here in Kontiolahti in last season. Now, this is the big moment. Germany are holding their breath. Sweden are holding their breath. 5 out of 5, and Stina Nielsen could get a first ever win. Go on, 3 out of 3. Rifle starting to shake. and she's thrown it wide. Needs this to have a chance. Don't forget, Denise Herman missed, but Herman wasn't that slow on the range. Oh, she's got it, so 4 out of 5. She matches Herman for the shooting score. The race is not over. A PB of 10th, I think, is going to be bettered here today. And Stina Nielsen goes one step further in her biathlon career. Now, what's she got left to give? 2,500 metres to go. She's on to the penalty loop before she starts that final ski. And 14:07, she's got 8 seconds. I think she's going to be, what, 6-7 seconds behind, Mike?
I think so. It's going to be maybe up to 8 or 9 seconds, so she really needs to find the ski time of her life here, and she now will believe she can win a World Cup race. We're running out of time, 3 World Cups left, but this is an excellent performance.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 on that last shoot, and that margin would have been reversed. She would have been something like 13 seconds clear. 11 seconds is a big, big chunk to make up. She has gone into 6th position, chasing Naughton, Chevalier Boucher, Hannah Erdberg, Tyrrell Eckhoff, all in front of her at the moment. But I cannot see Stina Nielsen dropping out of the top 10.
I think she might even, she's 11 seconds behind, 1 second to catch up Connaughton, and then Anais Chevalier's only 2 seconds ahead of her. Maybe Hildebrand.
She's missed number 4 as well. Number 4 has been a tricky target this year. Normally, it's 1 and 5, but certainly this season, and I haven't done the adding up because I haven't got enough time, but the 4th target seems to be the one where the nerves are starting to twitch.
It's quite strange, isn't it? And almost you've come in with the exceptionally steep climb just a minute and a half down the track. You're kind of overgassed as you come in for your standing, and you're running out of air on that 4th shot.
Well, there are the standings after the 2nd shoot. Roysland down in 13th at that stage. She put in a very good final loop. Davidova with 2 misses, only 2 athletes at the moment in the top 10 at the finish with the perfect shooting score. Here's our race leader, number 29, Denise Herman.
Well, I'm just thinking if Stina Nielsen attacks her out of the stadium, gets great speed down the fast descent, she may have a chance of closing in for 2nd place. I think she may do it.
Well, a top 3 would be fantastic. And, you know, we have to look at PBs, and every single gain is a step forward. And I think she's had a lot of encouragement this season, Mike. I think people were starting to doubt her. She put some good performances in over the summer. That 11 has cut to 6.4, and suddenly she goes from 6th position up into the top 3 ahead of Hannah Erdberg. So at the moment, she is the best of the Swedes out on the tracks, and that's going to gain her a massive, massive amount of respect if she can hold on there.
Very much, and that's exactly what she needs now, is a very precise coach giving her all the information, giving her absolute positives to try and bring more out of her performance.
Yeah, I thought she looked very, very heavy on that first lap, but I think you were right, just easing up before her first shoot, which turned out to be a good tactic. But she now looks strong. She looks as though she's got plenty of energy in the tank. It's going to be interesting to see what she can do in the closing stages. Knotten of Norway, 0-0 on the range. Can't match the best, coming up towards 6.8. But a top 10 would be a good one. Good performance.
It is, and that shooting score, Connaughton, same shooting score as Ruhpolding just after Christmas, and she finished 12th on that occasion. Better today.
Yeah, this could be her 3rd best result of her career. Only twice in the top 10 up to now. Yeah, the strides are a little bit shorter, understandably so, after that big climb, but a little bit less effective as well. Whereas Stina Nielsen is still skiing very dynamically. There's a good drive at the end of the leg movement, and she's clawing back time on Anna Jupp of Austria.
So I hope she doesn't get roadblocked up here. Stina Nielsen needs an absolute clear run up this climb.
Here she goes. This is where she can secure a podium finish. Eckhoff on 6.1 outside, watching the clock in the stadium to see whether she's going to stay second. The margins in the finish are very, very tight, only 6.8 separating the top 3 athletes. At the moment, it's Hermann, it's Eckhoff, it's Öberg in 1, 2 and 3. Germany, Norway, Sweden. Sweden could get to, well, they could certainly get second place if Stina Nielsen can keep the pace going. She's up to 5.7 and moves just a fraction, 0.4 of a second now ahead of Tyrrell Eckhoff, who had a very, very good finish from this point into the stadium.
This is painful. This is so painful. She's just moved ahead of her teammate, the great Hannah Öberg. Hannah may be disappointed, but equally delighted that Stina is having the best race of her career.
Yeah, it's nice to see all the Swedish team getting behind her. They put a lot of belief in Stina Nielsen. You know, Sweden were baffled why one of the world's best cross-country skiers should switch discipline and suddenly be finding themselves outside the top 30, top 40 in the results. But now we know why. Hermann's finishing time, 20:08.6. That, I feel, is safe. But remember, Nielsen was 11 seconds behind Hermann at the start of this final loop. At the last split, she'd got it down to just 5 seconds, and now she raises her game once again. Just over 200 meters to go. She's got to break to the right when she comes into the stadium. Then she'll see the finish tape. She's got a lot of driving to do. 15 seconds in hand for Stina Nielsen of Sweden. She's going to get her first ever World Cup podium finish, but what position is it going to be? 6 seconds in hand. The crowd know exactly just how important this is. It's not going to be the green light. Hermann stays number 1, but Tyrrell Eckhoff is going down into 3, and it's Stina Nielsen who gets second place. That one miss in the standing shoot has cost her the win, but the first ever podium in the World Cup, I think she can afford. I don't think she's got the energy for the smile, but there'll be a big, big grin on her face tonight. She has arrived in the world of biathlon.
God, you can just feel the happiness there. In the end, it was third place, just 2 tenths behind Eckhoff, but a podium is a podium, and she really has landed.
Yeah, sorry, I gave a second. I thought it was the other way around. She has just missed out on second.
I thought it was going to be second. She seemed to back off just 2 meters, 3 meters to go.
Yeah. She's got third. I don't think she even realised she got third. I'm going to put it down to the captions yet again. Yeah. Big smiles in the Swedish team, and that's really important, Mike. It's all been about the Öberg so far this season for the Swedes. No disrespect to athletes like Persson, but with Stina Nielsen, if she can get a bit more consistent, then Sweden have the team to challenge.
They have, and as Joanne Reid comes in, it's a good performance there. Stina Nielsen has shown us today that she can handle pressure and keep stable through the rifle.
Late start for Joanna Reid. Shot pretty well in the relay, only needing 2 spares. Isn't it strange, Mike, how those athletes that miss in the stand always glance left once they've started skiing again, just to check?
It's horrible. You can't believe it, because you train so much, and in the summer when you're without pulse, you're standing there. You can get 5 out of 5 on a very regular basis, but then you've got the physical exertion. It really is difficult.
Hildebrand hasn't got too much spark for the last 100 meters. You know, she was looking at a top 10 had she managed to hit all 5 in the stand, and that would have been a really good end. Now she must be one of those who's considering retirement. We'll see. Generally, we get rumours, and then everything is confirmed just before the start of the last round of the World Cup, which of course takes place in Oslo. Kalkenberg started 84 of the 85. Any feelings on whether the conditions have got quicker or harder?
I just felt midpoint the wind was a little kinder, but we saw Kalkenberg's hair blowing there, so it's still having an influence. I think the tracks have remained fairly steady, and they haven't very firm underfoot, so really is one of the few World Cups where we've seen such little change in conditions from start number 1 to start 85.
Well, I'm delighted for Mariada, who has managed to put Finland, or keep Finland, on the biathlon map today. She's lying in 9th place at the moment. Can't see anyone who's going to challenge coming in. No, I don't think so. I think she's safe. I think she's safe for a top 10.
And good to see with Joensuu just, 8 kilometres down the road, to see so many Finnish fans. It's Saturday, so they're not at work. They really have supported this today. And normally, of course, we just see the stands absolutely full of Russian flags. Only, 46 kilometres to the border here, but thankfully they're not here this time.
Yeah, still can't believe we called, or I called, Nielsen ahead of Ekhoff. I think I'd just come to that conclusion. It was my heart ruling my head.
Well, she did just nip in ahead of her teammate as we thought it might happen. I did think she could make 2nd place, but she seemed to back off at the end. She looked struggling there, just wind wasn't an issue. Concentration was.
Scottheim for Sweden, the same shooting score as Stina Nielsen, but over a minute and a half slower in terms of the ski speed. Well, she's in the World Cup points at the moment for today, but that may change. We've still got quite a few athletes out there. So far, 71 of the 85 starters have crossed the finish line.
Yeah, and that finish line, 4 Swedish biathletes in the top 10. That's the best nation standing, really. And Stina Nielsen, that's just a massive leap forward for her today. I think we predicted she'd get podiums this season. She's just managed to achieve that now.
Well, the next question is, when's that first win going to come her way? Will she get a win? I think with the shooting today, that confidence will be there.
It certainly feels, and actually just her movement in terms of skiing, she looked uncomfortable, I felt, in November and December racing with the rifle. She's got much more flow, and it is difficult changing from cross-country skiing to biathlon to have this solid thing fixed high up on your back. It changes the dynamic of your skiing, and I think she's mastered that today as well. Yeah,
I was trying to think, of course, Stina Nielsen, one of the best cross-country sprinters in the world, and she was really the first one to challenge Faller on the sprint circuit. In terms of her cross-country skiing, did she have much more upper body movement than she has to have now in terms of the rifle?
I think she dug much deeper there through the waist. She would, in sprint racing, she was very much using the upper body, and now she can't quite move it as much, or you burn up a lot of energy through those back muscles, so that they're slightly more rigid from the hips up biathlon, or biathletes.
Elisa Gasparin with a dramatic collapse across the line. Regina Oja of Estonia. Otepää, of course, hosting the next round of the World Cup. The Estonians will enjoy that. We hear there will be 2 Ukrainian athletes who are going to take part in that event, and I'm looking forward to the reception that they get.
Oh, that would be fantastic, and they deserve support, and that might raise the spirits back home. I hope it will. Botte, she's a good biathlete, but brought into World Cup racing. Little pressure maybe to miss 3 out of 5 standing. And not going to start in the pursuit tomorrow.
Yeah, the two Ukrainians, Elena and Julia Horodna, haven't really seen them on the World Cup, but they've actually done really well at the Junior European Championship. So I hope they get a fantastic reception in Otepää next weekend. And then the biathlon tour wrapping up in Oslo. The women, what do they have? A sprint on the 20th. pursuit on the 21st, a mass start on the 22nd. As if the season hasn't been hard enough already. They finish with 3 successive days of racing. And if Roysland loses some points tomorrow, particularly to Elvira Erberg, then it could be a very, very nervy occasion.
It could. I'm just thinking about Stina Nielsen. She has raced a lot less. She didn't have the pressure, sadly for her, of getting a start at the Olympics. She was there. She kept the training going well. I thought they might give her 1 start because she was good before the Olympics, but then they did have 4 very safe biathletes to enter. But you know, there she has started her podium count already, and she has 23 wins from her cross-country career and 41 podiums from her cross-country career, and she started that tally now in biathlon.
Joanna Reid across the line. I know Claire Egan of USA is calling it quits at the end of this season, so that's another athlete that we won't be seeing next year. But when one retires, there's always someone who's been waiting in the wings to take their place. And USA Biathlon perhaps not quite in as good a position as it was back in 2017.
Yes, teams go through. I think there's a lot of growth here in the American team. And Claire Egan, she started the season so well, but today missing targets. Where is she? She's down in the 50s, I think. Susan Dunkley, sadly, missing 5 today, but skiing well. She's in 70th position. Egan, 50th position. She missed 4 today, so needs to put that right tomorrow in the pursuit competition.
Yeah, a lot of the early starters missing targets. Big names that you might have been trying to follow. Breza Boucher looked really good to start with, but ended up missing 2. She's down in 14th at the moment. Dorothea Vera, she's got her fans out there, down in 17th, again with 2 misses, just ahead of Julie Simon of France, who missed 2. And some of that ski speed that Simon had just before the Olympics seems to have gone. Davidova, 22nd. We've got Lisa Teresa Hauser, skiing okay, to be honest, but 26th, thanks to 3 misses on the range. And any other big names outside the top 30? Tandrevold, really disappointing, 3 misses, 33rd position.
There's Erika Janka. She's not from this region. She's from down south west in Hämeenlinna. She was probably hoping for a better shooting score today, but 73rd position.
Yeah, so is Susan Dunkley. 50% hit rate, 5 out of 10 left standing, and maybe retirement can't come soon enough. But Susan Dunkley has been absolutely superb for the American biathlon team. Last couple of seasons have been a struggle in terms of ski speed. I've missed her, you know, 16, 17, 18, Mike. She nearly always led the relay for the first leg. She was that good.
Oh, very much, and world championships on a number of occasions, silver medals. She's been a top-end biathlete and really has kick-started the belief in the clubs back home, and a good crop of young biathletes coming through. And to have the Junior World Championships in Soldier Hollow down near Salt Lake City, it's still well and truly alive, biathlon.
Spielert last to start, and with 4 misses is going to be, well, she shouldn't be last considering we had 85 starters. I'm just seeing if we've had any withdrawals. I haven't noted. Well, we've got one DSQ. We do have a DSQ. Kinnunen has been disqualified, and Lisa Vitozzi, as you mentioned, did not start.
I wonder if Kinnunen, we saw her there, former Belarus biathlete. I wonder if she accidentally didn't take or go round the penalty loop the 3 times required. Sometimes you go into a fog, a mist of disappointment. So, don't know, didn't see what happened. We'll find out.
What's the worst mistake you ever made?
Yeah, I miscounted penalty loops once. I think I had 4, and I think I did 5. It's so hard to count. You just think, oh, well, did I or didn't I? Because you're so angry, and yeah, and you get penalised for doing more.
Most sensible people would do 3, not 4.
No, I got a 2-minute penalty, as you do, for doing less or more.
Love it. Well, there you have the top 10, no changes coming our way. The race just about over. Herman, Eckhoff, Nielsen, the medalists. Denise Herman, that's a fantastic performance from her, and she's had a pretty solid season, to be honest. She'll be delighted with that. She'll move into the top 15, I think, of the World Cup standings with that performance today. Eckhoff survives in second by the skin of her teeth. And Eckhoff has had, you know, a really struggled this year, but it's nice to see her get some form. And I'm hoping that means that she'll come back next year hunting the overall crown again, which of course she won last year. But really the story of the day, Mike, Stina Nielsen, third place, first ever podium. She's arrived.
She has landed, hasn't she? And she just looked absolutely complete today as a biathlete. The technique, she was moving well with the rifle on and shooting a little faster. She did take 37 seconds last time in for her stop-start, and that really is still losing some 8 seconds, 9 seconds to the average. So a little improvement there. She could have won this race. Yeah,
I don't think we got to see where her miss was. But I just get the feeling it's going to be agonizingly close. And had that target gone down, she was going to get a comfortable win over Denise Herman.
Totally, and then setting herself up so well in the pursuit. I think she's comfortable there in the pursuit with Eckhoff 5 seconds, sorry, just ahead of her, and Herman just 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting race. That's coming up tomorrow. Before that, though, we have the men's sprint, which starts in some 45 minutes' time. I think you have to put an hour before the 45. 2:30 UK time for the start of the men's sprint. So they're going to be under floodlights. 4:30 local time. Starting to get cold. Probably want an early start in the men's, Mike.
I think so. I think that would be an advantage as the sun will drop down, change things a little.
Well, there are the standings in the World Cup. Elvira Öberg claws back just a couple of points in the sprint standings, but I think Roysland, with 2 sprints still to go, is going to secure that trophy. Remember, she was 88 points clear of Elvira Öberg in the overall at the start of today. And hopefully our next table will be the overall standings. Roysland down in 8th, Elvira Öberg 10 seconds ahead of her, but only in 7th. A little unfortunate that no one managed to get into that group. Roysland, 2 misses today. If my memory serves me right, it was one in the prone and one in the stand.
It was indeed. She didn't look quite as sparky, as powerful as she has done throughout the Olympics.
So the racing just about over. There you see the overall World Cup score, 86 points between the top 2. Elvira Öberg has closed it by 2. She needed to close it by 20 to start putting pressure on the Norwegian, but that could well happen. Alimbakova in 3. She will not race again this season from Belarus, so she is going to drop down the order race by race. As we have a look at the other athletes, Denise Herman up into 15 with the 60 points gained for the win today, and Tyrrell Eckhoff climbing the order. Another good race by Tyrrell Eckhoff. Good to see. 2nd place today, just 0.2 of a second ahead of Stina Nielsen. Mike, only 6.8 seconds separating the top 4. What a start we'll have in the pursuit tomorrow.
It will be fabulous, and big names up there. New experience for Stina Nielsen, but today she certainly looks like she can handle the pressure.
Well, normally we focus on the winner at the end of the race, but at the moment we're focusing on the World Cup leader. Roysland stays in yellow. She is
Denise,
one race closer to winning the Crystal Globe, but here is our winner, Denise Herman.
But that was really tight today. How did you experience it out there, and how happy are you with the final result?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I had a good reload at home, and yeah, my legs feel fresh also after the Olympics. And yeah, I was really, I was focused today, but also a bit relaxed. And I had a good relay. And the main focus for me was that I have the same feeling to start not so hard. And we had amazing skis today, and it was the basic for this performance. And also, yeah, it was a bit windy. You have to be careful with the shooting range. I think I was also lucky for one shot in the Brown. And yeah, it worked really well, and I'm really happy, and also with the ex-cross-country skier battle at the end.
Was about to say, how exciting was it to watch Stina closing today?
Yeah, it is amazing. I met her before the race, and she said that she hasn't a real race since Ruhpolding, and you never know after such a long period what will your body do. And yeah, I'm really happy for her that she has this great result.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, Stina Nilsson, of course, raced Ruhpolding. The Swedish team didn't go to Antholz. Then, of course, she went to Beijing, but didn't get a race in the team. And so great to see her back on this sort of form. Well, let's have a look at the programme for the weekend. We start at 2:20 UK time for the men's sprint just a little later on. Do tune in for the women's pursuit tomorrow. That's going to be an absolute cracker, as should be the 12.5 kilometre men's pursuit. Lots of big names missing on the men's circuit, but could make the racing even tighter than normal. Well, that's it from Kontiolahti for the next hour and a half. The men have to get their warm-ups done, their rifles zeroed. The women will be heading back to the hotels to get some food, some rest, some sleep, and then they come back to the stadium tomorrow to do it all over again. And it will be Denise Herrmann who is first to start in the women's pursuit in 24 hours' time. Well, straight on to the presentation ceremony here in Kontiolahti, I hope. Many of the crowd have disappeared into the entertainment tents, looking for warmth rather than alcohol on this occasion. But here are the top six. Any outstanding performances for you, Mike, who haven't made it onto the podium?
Who haven't, I thought Mari Eder for the first time really just getting her biathlon organised, and only 29 seconds behind. I thought that's especially under the pressure of your home venue.
Yeah, and Vanessa Voigt, 6th place, a 10 out of 10 on the range, only 16 seconds off the win.
That was, and the skis in the German team once again are exceptional. So Voigt didn't look so strong in terms of ski time in the relay, but certainly 16 seconds behind is brilliant.
Yeah, what have we got? Fischer dominating. 4 of the top, well, Fischer get the top 4. Rosignol in 5. We've got Salomon in 6. But what a moment for Stina Nilsson of Sweden. It's a long time since she picked up prizes, but a late start today. Significant, Mike, in that the Swedish team have no choice but to give her a better group next time round.
Definitely have to. She deserves it. She's earned it. And you know, the journey she's had from those brilliant days of cross-country skiing, difficult to learn shooting. She's spent so many hours doing that, and the rewards are coming now.
The eternal comedian. What great company she is on the tour. Good value for the Norwegian team, and she certainly does her bit in terms of bringing Norway plenty of honours. A gold, a silver and a bronze in her pocket after Beijing. She gets silver here in Kontiolahti. A little bit of head nodding, as is the way nowadays.
the new normal.
The handshakes have gone, the fist pumps have gone. But here's your winner, 9th win of her career, Denise Herrmann, just like Stina Nielsen, a former cross-country skier. Well, Sweden found all their champions from cross-country skiing, Mike. Who's next?
Well, they have
Therese
many to yeah, maybe. I think it would take some persuading. Just thinking, as Tiril Ekhoff stands on the podium, it's the first World Cup podium for her this season. Of course, she did jump on the podium in the pursuit at the Olympics, the mixed relay, and the mass start with the silver.
Denise Herrmann, on the other hand, the Olympic champion over 15 kilometres, the individual event. Hannah Öberg, she'll be delighted with a good race today. Missed one and only 6.8 off the mark, only 6.8 seconds separating the top 4. Very, very tight race. Bit of a gap back to Chevalier Boucher in 5, 15.5. The difference, and then Vanessa Voigt gets a good cheer. The only athlete in the top 6 to shoot the perfect score. Well done to her. Here come the head nodders.
Ollie Dallin on the left there. I think he's done a great job for biathlon since he replaced Besseberg.
Yeah, no disrespect, man. It's just times have changed. The kiss on both cheeks, I dare say, will never be back.
Yeah, probably not. The world has changed so much.
Well, that's it from Kontiolahti for now. Just under the hour and a half before we'll be back for the men's sprint event. And the distance, 10 kilometres, won't take them much more than 24, 25 minutes to complete that. Will it be France? Phil Maillet could do with a win just to make his chances of winning the Crystal Globe that little bit better. But Jacquelin looks very, very good. Christiansen looks to be in good shape. Join us in an hour and a half for the men's sprint.
Yeah.